Everybody has someone in their life that they may disagree with in regards to how they continuously approach a situation, whether it's verbally, in the words that they speak, or the actions that they may perform in this situation. Now, regardless if we disapprove of this person's actions or this person's words, we have no ability, we have no actual control on them changing or them stopping something that we don't approve of or don't agree with. You see, all we can do is be a leader, an example, an inspiration for this person. So if and when they are ready to change, they can look towards you, they can look towards me, and start to make that change, and start to move forward and push aside some of these bad habits that they have become accustomed to. But we have to understand that we, you, me, we cannot control this other person. All we can do is carry the message, whether that's verbally or through our own actions. We can only carry the message. We cannot carry the person. I was introduced to this topic or this concept very early in my recovery process. When I went to my first meeting, my first Narcotics Anonymous meeting, and I stepped in that room, I started to hear all of these slogans, one of which sounds very similar to, you can carry the message, not the person. In regards to recovery, it goes like this: you can carry the message, not the addict. And at the end of the day, you can apply this in any situation in your life with a person that you may not agree with, or maybe doing something that's not aligned with your morals or your beliefs. You see, I really didn't understand how this actually worked when I first got clean. But when I started to look at the people around me during the last days of my using, I started to see how the message was being carried and how the actual carrying of me, the addict at the time, wasn't working. People tried to help, but I wasn't having it. You know, they verbally tried to let me know there was a better way, and that's all they could do. They tried to actually carry me, not physically, but actually really push me to get some help, but I just wasn't ready. And you see, that's where the crux of the issue is. I wasn't ready. They might have been ready for me to be ready, but me personally, I wasn't ready to change. I wasn't ready to admit that I was powerless over my addiction. So they could carry this message. They could carry this message of freedom, this message of hope, this message of a better life, a happier, more joyous life. But until I was ready to change, until I understood that I needed to make these changes in order to have a better life, then nothing was going to happen. And to be honest, the same thing applies for other people in our lives, regardless if they're an addict. So you can carry this message. You can be a beacon of light, a beacon of hope for somebody in your life that you know needs to change, that you know has to change in order to live a better, more happy, more joyous, more free life. But you can't physically make them. You cannot control their brains. You cannot control how they actually think. All you can control is that message that you give to them, whether it's through physical examples, your actions, or verbal examples through your words. And it's tough, don't get me wrong, because a lot of times when we're trying to carry this message, we're trying to carry it to somebody that we love, somebody that's in our family, somebody that's near and dear to our hearts. So it's in our nature to invest a lot of time and effort into this person understanding that they need to change. And we get to this point, this almost tipping point, where we've exhausted all the words that we can use. We've said everything that we've been able to say. So we resort to almost trying to control them. Need I say, possibly manipulate them. And when we get to that point of trying to control them, that's when there can be pushback. That's when there can be negative or harmful effects on this person and the relationship that you have with this person. So we need to sometimes take a step back and really empathize with this person if we already haven't done so. And we need to just live our lives, to be honest. And it's sometimes hard to do that when the person that we're trying to change is a loved one, but we just have to continue moving forward, not forgetting about this other person, but living the life that we think that they should live, as far as being honest and being upfront and being reliable and being responsible. If we take care of our side of the street, then we hope and sometimes pray that this other person will see, that will look from the other side of the street and say, wow, they're living this type of life and it's benefiting them in this such way. Maybe I should take the necessary steps to start changing my life. And that's all we can truly hope for. We can hope that how we live our life resonates with this person. What we say to them eventually will click and something will switch in their brains and they'll understand that the life they're living isn't conducive for self-growth and evolution. It just doesn't work that way. They need to change to actually see the changes, to see the benefits, to see the evolution happening, and so they can truly start their journey. But until then, it's up to that person. They have to be ready. They have to come to terms. They have to make that decision. It's their decision to change. And that's what we have to keep reminding ourselves about. We can do our part. And then after that, it's up to this other person. We can carry that message, but we cannot carry that person. Like I said before, this isn't an easy thing to grasp. It's not an easy thing to actually carry out and implement in your life. Because if this other person that you're carrying the message to is a loved one, is someone that's extremely close to you and in your life, then it's extremely hard to not try to do more than what's possible to get this person to change. To really try to control them, in a sense. But we have to be mindful and aware and conscious of the fact that this person, whoever it may be, is struggling in their life. They have demons and they have problems, just like so many of us have or have struggled with. The difference sometimes is that certain people acknowledge those problems and change. And then there's other people that may or may not acknowledge them, but don't want to change. They don't see it as an issue, or they don't want to face the fact that they need to change. But their life is on their terms. Our life, we have to live according to our terms. So if we want to express something to this person that we feel needs some help, that's all we can do. That's it. Carry that message. But understand, that's where it ends as far as how you can help this person. Carrying that message is it. It's then up to this other person. It's their responsibility to make that decision. It's their responsibility to truly dig deep inside of them and realize that the way they're living isn't the way they should, would, or want to live anymore. But until that happens, just know that you're doing everything possible by carrying that message. And that's all you can do. Lead by example. Speak words of encouragement. And just hope that this other person, especially if they're a loved one or a family member, just hope that they will come to this epiphany, this moment of clarity will enter their brain, and they'll make that decision to change, that decision to start to change and embark on this journey of self-discovery, this journey of evolution, and this journey of growth, growing from where they are or where they may have been to where they want to be, to the person they want to be a better and better version of themselves. This can be frustrating. I've said it a few times already, but when the people around me, whether it was friends, people that were really close, and some family members, saw that I had a problem and was in need of some help. They saw that I was deep into active addiction, but I wasn't really trying to get any help. I wasn't trying to change. All they did was try to carry the message. And at that time, it wasn't even the message that they talk about in the rooms of recovery. It was just words of motivation, or it was encouragement or advice that was trying to steer me in the right direction. But what it wasn't was them trying to actually control and manipulate me into doing something that I truly didn't want to do. Because I truly believe in my heart of hearts that if that was the case and I felt like I was being controlled or trying to be controlled or manipulated, that I would have pushed away, I would have become very defensive, and it could have had even worse effects. It could have been even more harmful. I might have spiraled even further downward and maybe even hit a deeper rock bottom. So I am thankful and I'm grateful that that's how my situation was handled. And now when I approach these situations in my life today with other people, I keep that in mind. I understand that I can carry that message, but I can't carry that person. I can't physically carry them or make them do the things that they should be doing in order to live a better life. Even when you see them struggling, even when you know there's a better way, even when you just want to shake them and be like, look, you can be here, you can feel this, you can accomplish such and such. You just need to decide. You need to make that conscious decision to change. But all we can do is carry the message and keep carrying the message and keep being a leader, an example to this person, and just keep doing what we're doing. And that's it. Frustrating, yes. Annoying sometimes. disheartening a lot of times, but that's life. We just have to understand and come to reality that we can't control them. We cannot change how they live their life. It's up to them. They need to do it, not us. We carry the message. You carry the message. I carry the message. It's up to this other person to decide and to make a change or decide to make that change. That's it. But that's life. That's reality. We can carry that message, but we need to understand that we can't expect to be able to carry that person. And we need to be mindful that when we approach these situations, we're practicing sympathy. We're practicing empathy. Because the person that we're dealing with is definitely struggling, whether they're outward about it or it's tucked inside of them. They're dealing with something. So instead of getting all riled up and frustrated because we're so involved and we really want this person to change because we know it'll benefit them, we need to approach this situation just like we approach so many situations in our lives, or how we should approach so many situations in our lives, with kindness, with compassion, and with love. Because the last thing this person needs is someone else coming down on them, someone else making them feel like they're doing something wrong, when all they need to hear and feel from you, from me, is a person that's empathetic to their situation, a person that's sympathetic to their situation, so they feel safe and they feel comfortable. And you hope when you create that space, when you create that feeling of comfortability, the words that you tell them, the actions that you perform will spark a change, will create this newfound idea within them that they have the ability to change. But all that comes down to that decision that they want to change, that they have to change. And that's when we can get that ball rolling. We can set those wheels in motion that are necessary to make these changes in order for us to grow and evolve as a person and move forward from where we are living now, this current state, to how we want to be living, the person we want to be, and the life that we want to actually live. But we need to be mindful. We need to truly, truly grasp that we can only carry that message. Remember that when you enter a situation where this might come up. We can only carry that message. We cannot carry that person. Have a great day, everybody. Have a blessed day. Always be grateful. Always remember to be grateful for this moment. For this moment right here is all we truly have. So regardless, if it's something positive, if it's something not so positive, be grateful for that moment, because we're alive in this moment to experience it. And then move to the next moment, and then to the next moment, and then to the next moment. And always remember to smile. Keep smiling, everybody. I'll talk to everybody soon. Have an amazing day once again. Peace.